is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Hello. Welcome everyone to another edition of the Narrative Podcast. And I'm your host, Hallzie Allen. Welcome all my narrators. Welcome anybody new that may be currently tuning into the platform. Hope you guys had a great week. I did. Thanks to everybody that tuned into my broadcast on Thursday, my live broadcast on Thursday. So all my narrators are already familiar with my platform. So I'm going to just give you a brief summary of it to anybody new that may be listening. So let's start at the top, shall we? The name, the Narrative Podcast. I came up with the name because I feel, in my opinion, that the media grossly misrepresents our people and our culture. They weave a false narrative about original people and original culture. They're always making us out to be criminals, destitute, degenerates of society, lost causes, basically. They make our men look, criminalistic, and our women over-sexualized, and our children delinquents. This is the lens in which they focus through to view our culture to the world. They do this intentionally. A large part of it is for capitalism money, because, when have we ever not been news? Even since the inception of America, we've been news. They're guaranteed to sell whatever headline they have to sell if we're somewhere in the equation. In addition to that, it's also like, psychological conditioning and programming, controlling the minds of the masses. Like I said, it's already big business to perpetuate and generate these negative stereotypes within our culture, and all these nuances we have within our culture to magnify that and give a false representation of our people. So while some of the things do happen within our culture, and some of us do act and speak that certain way, we can never ever forget, it's a learned behavior, and who do we learn that from? So that's why I designed this platform, basically to, take our power back, portray us in a positive light, dispel all these negative stereotypes about us by providing positive frames of reference about our people and our culture. Matter of fact, my tagline is the Narrative Podcast, changing the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative stereotypes about original people and original culture. The takeaway I want from anybody listening to my content would be the importance of sharing positive content on your platforms. That's why I call my listening audience, my narrators, because we all have possessed the ability to change the narrative just based on what we're posting online these days. Whatever you post online is your digital footprint. This is what people believe your beliefs and value systems align up with by the content you're posting online. So if you're always posting gang culture, thought culture, pimp culture, drug culture, etc., all these negative stereotypes that they come up with for us, if you're always posting that and embracing that, then that's what people outside of our culture is going to assume, that we're all about. Because people outside of our culture, all they got to go off of about us, if they've never met any one of us or don't know anything about us, all they can go off on is frames of reference. And the current frames of reference about our people and our culture are all negative. So, that's what I want to do on my platform, is to provide positive frames of reference, uplift, edify, and empower and impact, our culture on my platform. I don't do any negativity. I don't gossip and slander and drag brothers and sisters through the mud. We get enough of that. So now that I've addressed that, let me get to the original part, because I know, the listeners, if you're tuning in right now, why does he keep on saying original? I said original in reference to us, black people. I've elected to try to, on my platform, replace black with the word original. I've recently had an epiphany about that. First and foremost, in early civilization, early times, we did not refer to ourselves as black. This is a moniker placed on us by people that did not look like us. They just started calling us black. We never referred to ourselves as black. So it's not a self-hate thing. It's a self-awareness thing. And I go one deeper. You can go to any dictionary, any thesaurus, and look up the word black. And you will see all these negative example sentences, nouns, pronouns, adjectives, describing the word black. They're all negative, none of them positive. Such examples like, a black day, cloudy, gloomy, despair, destitute, dirty, desolate. And just, it keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper. They use example sentence. It's a black day. Black symbolizes death, is often associated with death and the end of all things. Also in the dictionary, they'll go out of their way to make a reference to Africa. They usually have a passage saying, Aboriginal people, a people descending from, Africa. They go out of their way to denote the lineage to Africa in the word black. And that's kind of the only color in all the dictionaries that point to a race of people. So, having said that, I believe in the power of words on my platform as well. So, history has shown us, whatever you speak, the words that you speak, manifest and change and alter reality. So if you look at our people as a whole, and here in America and abroad, from saying the word black, look at our history. Look at how hard we had to struggle. Look at all this adversity. Look at all this opposition that we're up against every single day. Now, in the same dictionaries, you go on to the word original. The word original doesn't have any negative connotation surrounding it. The word original, just nothing but positivity, indicative of the first and the beginning. The way it's written in the dictionary, the word original usually also symbolizes is a nod to the best. So not saying we're better than anyone, but we definitely are the original. We were the original man and the original woman, was and are the original man and original woman on this planet. There's no corner of the globe that we didn't, inhabit where we didn't make civilization better for all those around us. We never ever tried to force our beliefs and value systems upon anybody. We never tried to, keep anyone in bondage and make them do anything against their will. We only enlightened and educated civilization. We never took anything from anybody. We never colonized. We don't have a history of being warlike. We never imparted or imputed totalitarian rule anywhere in the world. So we are the original teachers, the original scholars, the original architects, the original philosophers, the original indigenous native. We're the original botanists, people studying in chemistry. I'm sorry, I'm having I'm tripping up. But original scientists, original biologists, original mathematicians. I can keep on going on and on about all the things we originated. But I think the word original is more symbolic of who we are as opposed to black. That's more accurate representation of us. So that's why I try to refer to our people as original on my platform. So I didn't mean to get too wordy. I just want to make perfectly clear what my platform is and what I'm trying to accomplish in this space, and and what I'm trying to promote in this space. So now, before I dive into the content, I got a little disclaimer. This podcast is monetized, so you will experience ad rolls. I do not know, when they're going to insert the ads. They could do it in mid-speech at any given time of the broadcast. I'm recording right now, so I can't hear. They don't send you like a email or a text alert, saying when they're going to insert the ad until after you're done recording. So after you're done recording, that's when they put all the ads in. So just letting you know, don't stop listening. Just let the ads do their thing, and you will be rewarded when they stop. But that's how I'm paying the bills with that. So second order of business. I try to keep this time sensitive. My podcast is broken up into sections. Each section has a speaking point. When I began doing this, I didn't know the very first thing about podcasting. So when I hit the record button, I would just go in, just go, jumping from topic to topic to topic. And, I didn't really have any desirable effects from that, meaning hardly anyone was listening to me. But then as soon as I start breaking it down into sections, I noticed, more people started listening. So I think a large part of that is, breaking my content up makes it more digestible, easier to follow. It resonates. There's a good cohesion about it. And then it gives you something to look forward to the next broadcast, the next time I'm on. So that's, why I do that. Why I've broken my podcast down into sections. So now, having said that, now that with no further ado, I'm going to jump right into the content. I'm going to explain each section as I come to them. And of course, I already said, I'm going to have speaking points. I try not to go exceed 1 hour per broadcast because, like I said, I want it to resonate and have a nice cohesive flow to it. And you'll be able to, digest it better like that. So on to my first section. This section is called the promotional section. And in this section, what I'm doing is giving original people-owned and operated businesses the opportunity to get free promotion for their business, product, or service by reaching out to me, Hallzie Allen, on the Narrative Podcast. And how you go about doing that is emailing me at www.mrhalziesblogs.com, and in the subject bar type promotion. Or if you don't want to type the whole word promotion, you can type the whole promo. And in the body of the email, be specific as possible. Tell me everything you want me to know about your business. And I gladly, make you a professional as possible ad as I can possibly do for your business. So, put all the specifics. If you got a brick and mortar location, tell me the address, hours of operation. Heck, even throw like how many, like the building capacity, like how many people can your building hold. Tell me your website. If there's a better way to get a hold of you, like your direct contact information, if you want people to reach out to you directly. Be specific as possible. Tell me about your educational background, why you decided to start that business, product, or service. Throw in any nuggets that you would want, like other things you want people to know, like is your business involved in any type of philanthropy, giving back to the community, any other charitable, things that your business does, like do you pay into a nonprofit organization? Do you have your own nonprofit organization? Do you hire your own? Have any training programs? Like all that. Leave no stone uncovered. And I will gladly do my very best to give you a solid promotional drop on my platform. And again, it's 110% for free. I'm not charging any money. My sole purpose in doing that is to, help, keep the original dollar circulating in the original community so we can build our community stronger and do for self and, get the word out about your business to have your business grow. If your business grows and is able to expand, then of course you'll hire more people. That's my expectation. That's my expectation anyway, is that your business will expand. You'll be able to hire more people. You can be able to buy more plots of land to develop your business, which will increase revenue. And, that's what I'm hoping to do, I'm trying to get the word hope out of my vocabulary, but that's what I'm intending to do in this section. So once again, for the free promotion, hit me up at passionwebmail at poeticpassion.host. In the subject bar, type promo, body of the email. Tell me about your business, product, or service. Be specific as possible. The more specific you are, the better the advertisement's going to be. And that'll do it for that section. My next section is the contest section. It's a contest I got specifically for this site, the Narrative Podcast. This is to inspire or reward, actually, for listener participation and to, try to attract more listeners to me, giving them, the opportunity to win something for free just by listening to my content, so they can tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tune into the Narrative Podcast. So the prize is a bulk supply of your favorite snack, and you will win it just by simply participating in the contest. By participating in the contest or the contest topic. The contest topic is share your most recent shopping while black experience, and you'll get a bulk supply of your favorite snack just for doing that. To enter the contest, it's the same exact email address as the promotion. But the way I'm separating them is through the subject bar. So for the Chew on This contest, In the subject bar, type chew on this, and then slash or dash shopping while black. Body of the email, include your most recent shopping while black experience. Your mailing address so I know where to send the snack. And then, of course, what type of snack do you want? And it's a bulk supply now, so it ain't just like one. It's the get right supply. So again, to enter that contest, hit me up at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host. Subject bar, chew on this, slash or dash, whichever much more convenient for you, shopping while black. If you don't want to type out the whole word shopping while black, you can type SWB in all caps. And then the body of the email include your most recent shopping while black experience, your mailing address, and then what type of snack do you want. So that there you have it. The chew on this contest entry, and on to my next section. Now, this section is actually the very start of my podcast. Essentially, the first two is just kind of like a warm up to get your attention, but this is like kind of the core of my content. This section is called the highlight section. What I'm doing is highlighting original people-owned businesses. And the reason why I'm doing that is to provide a positive frame of reference about, entrepreneurialism that we can do for self, that we like doing for self, that we enjoy doing for self. Again, with these negative stereotypes, the way the media weaponizes these images and audio clips about us, all this negativity in the music, in periodicals, literature, television shows, movies about us not being able to, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and succeed. I want to provide positive frames of reference about people that have, they was working regular 9-to-5 jobs. They decided they didn't want to do that anymore. They wanted to pursue something they were passionate about, and just stepped out on a leap of faith, started their own business. Pretty much all the people I try to highlight, have that unction in them to, want to hire their own. They started their business, because there wasn't any representation of us in whatever field they went into, and they decided to do something about it. Also, they had little to no educational experience in that field, little to no finances to kickstart their business. They just a wing and a prayer, just like literally coming up from the bottom. Those are the types of people I try to highlight. And then also, they do for the community. They either have a nonprofit organization or pay into a nonprofit organization. They definitely hire their own. Many of them are family-owned and operated businesses, which is a positive frame of reference for generational wealth that we need. So, my overall takeaway I want you to get from the highlight section is the importance of patronizing our own businesses, how important it is to start your own business, and then how even more important it is to, support our own businesses. Because like I said, all the businesses that I try to highlight in the highlight section, they do for the community. So essentially, when you're spending your money with them, you're investing into your future, because their businesses is going to, improve the community that they're rooted in. And if the community improves, then, the community will expand. Building structures will be around for the next generation, generational wealth and all that, sustainability and all that. So that's what I'm attempting to do in that section. So my last qualifying factor for the highlight section is that, they align up with my theme, and my current theme is winter / Christmas. So all these businesses I will be highlighting today kind of line up with winter and Christmas. So, having said that, let us begin with our very first original people owned and operated business. Now, like I said, they line up with winter and Christmas. So what do you do in Christmas? I already told you I don't really support or subscribe to the belief of Christmas, the gift giving holiday and all that, and why I don't subscribe to Christmas. But I know many of us do, and it is not mine to judge if you do participate in Christmas, but I'm just offering an alternative. Like, if you're going to spend money, you might as well spend money with us, because like I said, it's an investment in our community, spending, with our own vendors. So what do you need to do around, the Christmas holidays? If you're into the gift giving thing, you need to buy, wrapping paper to wrap your gifts. So these next few businesses is, gift wrapping paper companies ran by original people. First up, we have Rapper's Delight, and it's spelled WRAPPERS, as in wrapping a gift. I'm a sucker for a play on words, so as we know, there's pretty much the founding hip hop group is Rapper's Delight out of Philadelphia. So, or Jersey, where are they from? I'm going to have to fact check myself, because I don't want to say something wrong. I think they're either Philly or Jersey. Let me see. Or the Sugar Hill Gang. The song was called Rapper's Delight, excuse me. The group was Sugar Hill Gang. Mm-hmm. Okay, they're from Jersey. So I knew it was either Philly or Jersey. So yeah, but anyway, so it's just a play on words. They're called Rapper's Delight in homage to Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight. But anyway, it is ran by a one Miss Brooke Carrington and her husband Big Play Zay. Zay has not listed his government name, and many people that operate their own businesses do not. So I don't even know if his wife's name is her, maiden name. I don't know if that's her maiden name or a married name. It didn't say. But they're definitely a husband and wife team. The web address is rappersdelight.shop. And of course, it's family owned and operated, so that's a positive frame of reference about generational wealth. They advertise on IG, and when you go to the site, you will see, they have links within there, and then you will see links to Brooks page, and then you will see, links to Big Plays A page. And they are both actively involved in philanthropy. They give back to their state. I believe it's Carolina, I believe. And, things that they sponsor, both of them. She writes books. She's a little bit more pronounced on the internet than he is. She had her own personal blog, Facebook page. She does like TED Talks. But Rappers Delight, definitely support them. When you're supporting them, you're supporting us. So if you're going to get your gift wrapping paper, hit up Rappers Delight and get some Rappers Delight gift wrapping paper. And let's give a warm narrative round of applause for Rappers Delights. Alrighty, right. On to the next one. This company is called the Black Paper Party. And this is an original woman-owned business. 3 sisters went into business together. Ja'Aaron Merchant, Jasmine Hudson, and Medea Willis. Email address is theblackpaperparty.com. The business was established in 2020. I'm going to back up a bit because I forgot the Rappers Delight. Their business was started that same year. I just forgot to record it in the notes. But yeah. See, what I also like to do on the highlight section, I try to walk you through the whole process if possible. If I can find out the information, like what year they started their business, what opposition they have to come up while they're starting their business, what is their business module, like why did they get in business. I want to give you the whole journey in this section, the whole journey that they went through. But all the time, I can't do that because no information is provided. So in them instances where all that type of information isn't provided, I can't do it. But I'm well over 100 episodes in, and you can go listen to my older episodes, and you will see where I walked you through the complete journey of, the business that I was highlighting, the owner's journey, like how they came up with the idea, where they got the money to start it, what year they started it, how many people they started out with, and like how many people they currently have now, and how big of a success is it now as opposed to when they first started it. That's what I try to do in this section. But anyway, the business was established in 2020. They just basically began. There was like-minded individuals working in different respective fields: textile, book writing, fashion design. So like all of them wore multiple hats, but they found some common ground. Just like-minded individuals came together with one inspiring thought. They noticed there wasn't any inclusion in the, gift wrapping aisle, like no inclusion, no visions like to cater to specifically us. And so that's how the Black Party, came to be. And then you can go to the website You can see more of their story on the website at theblackparty.com. And, definitely check out their merchandise, see what they have available, and go support those sisters. Because that's really rare, because pretty much everything is a male-dominated industry that three sisters can come together and, just build. So we want to give a warm Narrative Podcast round of applause for the Black Paper Party and Ja'Aaron, Jasmine, and Medea. I know it sounds like I'm saying her name funny, but it's a J and then a hyphen and then A-R-O-N. So I've never met a female named Jaren, so I'm assuming it's Ja'Aaron, because Jaren's a man's name. I've never met a female named Jaren. But anyway, it was just like a little something. I don't want to go off tangent. I'm just letting you know I know how to read. All right. So the last business I will be highlighting in the highlight section today is Black Rats. This is conceived by one Mrs. Erica Greer and her husband, Jason Smith. They start the business in 02. And you can go to www.blackrat.com to view their entire story of like how they met each other, fell in love, and got married. They also have another person, entity in the business, Whitney Nolan. I think she's like a CEO or a vice rep or something like that they're in business with. They're located out in South Carolina. They also, in addition to being a husband and wife team, which is, generational wealth, they also give back to several, nonprofit organizations, several charitable causes. One they have sponsored on their IG page is a football team that they sponsor. And, so like I said, definitely support those that support us. So when you're supporting them, you will be supporting us. You will be helping an original people-owned, operated business support the community as well. And give yourself own self a sense of pride, purchasing from your own, getting treated right, getting some good quality customer service, seeing a visual representation of you on, let's just call it what it is, a white holiday. But, if you celebrate Christmas, definitely check them out. Check all of them out, all the people that I've named, but since I'm on their sections, check them out. Black Rats, Erica, Jason, and Whitney over at Black Rat. I'm going to give a warm narrative round of applause for Black Rats. All right, moving on into the next section. This next section is called the Spotlight section. In this section, what I do is basically spotlight a prominent figure, aka give a prominent figure their roses while they're here. It's usually someone in the entertainment industry, ranging from actors, actresses, comedians, writers, producers, athletes, public figures, basically anybody in the eye of the public with a huge following, with a polarizing effect, that speaks on our cause unapologetically, empowers us, impacts us, moves a culture forward, does some type of philanthropy, does some type of giving back, or just the way they carry and conduct themselves. And, it's a good visual representation of us. Those are the types of people I try to spotlight in the spotlight section. So, in addition to that, what I have to say, and I'm going to keep saying it, I got to keep tooting my own horn. I started the wave, me, Hallzie Allen, on the Narrative Podcast for spotlighting, because before I added the spotlight section to my podcast, nobody on the internet, YouTube, nowhere in the digital space was anybody spotlighting anybody. And so, imitation is the best form of flattery. You don't have to reference my name, but listeners know where the spotlight section originated from. Proofs in the pudding. You can go in my episode log and then fact check, like go all through my episode log, and then you do your own due diligence on the internet, and you should notice that nobody was spotlighting anybody until I added the spotlight section to my podcast. And, that makes me feel great, because the whole purpose of the spotlight section is to, create the healthy habit of saying something nice about your brother or your sister instead of always slandering, demeaning, lying, gossiping about your brother and sister on social media, because we seem to be like the only people that do that. So I wanted to create the healthy habit of just saying something nice, acknowledging somebody else's work, the things that they do behind closed doors, because when we see most of our rappers and athletes and entertainers, it's always some controversy surrounding them. It's never like anything about the good that they're doing. It's always, some messiness to it. So I wanted to create the space of where we're celebrating their accomplishments, where we're celebrating their achievements, and, all what they do, all the good things that they do, instead of always, focusing the lens on the negativity. Especially like in the hip hop genre, especially the rappers, because, they always want to see our brothers getting carted off, drug away in handcuffs, or always flashing weapons and drugs and, all kinds of toxic stuff. So now that you know about this section, we're going to get right on to the spotlight section. I just zoned out for a second. My bad. An alert came up and I was just checking it. But anyway, so the spotlight today is one, the only, the alluring, the tantalizing, the climactic, engaging, thought-provoking, at times mysterious, Mrs. Erica Badu. Born Erica Abby Wright, February 26, 1971 in Dallas, Texas, with the debut album Baduism in 1997. She graduated from Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing Arts. Also attended Grambling State University for a brief amount of time. She didn't graduate, but she did a stint over there. She's also got her own nonprofit organization called Blind, acronym Beautiful Love Incorporated, and it started in 1997. The reason why I'm highlighting Miss Badu is because ever since she came into the industry, she's been instrumental in exposing the light on so many things that we sweep under the rug, so many things that go on in the entertainment industry and in the world that people kind of turn a blind eye to. She holds it up and just focuses in on it, makes you look at it. She definitely always is speaking for the cause unapologetically. She's been a definitely entrepreneur, like a definite hustler, like seriously selling her own vagina juices. Like she made $1 million selling like biological. Well, I don't think juices are by waste, but she made $1 million selling vagina juice, man. Like how more inspirational do you need to get? Like that's something she has an abundant supply of. Like, definitely a woman for all seasons. It's just so much that she does. She sings, she produces, she acts. So many hats she wears, but I just wanted to focus the spotlight on her. I don't think we appreciate her enough for everything she does in the industry. Definitely just like being truthful in a industry full of, fakeness. Like she's just authentically who she is. There ain't no, persona. She's not playing a role. That's who she is. And she, has her own unique style of dress. Not afraid or shy to speak. Marching to her own drum and just like, it is what it is. When you look at her, and that's a very refreshing sentiment in the industry that's artificial. And then just to like go off on a kind of a side tangent, I think that's what happens to like a lot of us that enter the entertainment industry. This is a artificial world that they're in, and we, the original people, are original. So when we go against our nature, that's why a lot of them have these, nervous breakdowns and just severe emotional breakdowns because they're going against their true nature. They're like sitting up there 24 hours fake smiling and, stamping things that they don't believe in for the bag. They're going against the core nature of their true being, their true essence. And, that's when the prices they have to pay to maintain all the wealth that they obtained is, they're sacrificing their sanity because they're going against, their true nature. They're trying to put on this facade for the camera. But she's one of the very few ones that don't. What you see is what you get. Unique and original down to the T. I don't think we're ever going to find another Erykah Badu. Nobody Erykah Badu-esque like nothing. Like she's the original copy. We're never going to see that again in life. Definitely inspirational and motivational. And she has earned the Narrative Podcast Spotlight this week. And I pray. trying to be careful with my words because I believe with the power of words, but I know more things is coming forward in the future, and I intend to see all of it, be intentional with it. So yeah, I want to give a Warm Narrative Podcast round of applause for Mrs. Erica Badu. All right. On to my next section. My next section is called the highlight section, or not the highlight section, I already said that. The health and wellness section. And in the health and wellness section, what I'm basically doing is, promoting the healthy, active, fit lifestyle for us because we are the most under fire. There's so many diseases, man-made like things that they're putting in our food, our air, our water that, impacts us negatively, like wreaks havoc on our unique cellular structure, aka our melanin. It's harmful to all human beings and Americans and everybody, but especially harmful to us. So, and then not just physically, also mentally. Like I've stated at the beginning of the podcast, things that they do to warp our perception, self-perception of us. The media constantly bombarding us, with these negative images, with these negative audio sound bites, all these negative literature publications of depicting us in a negative light. This takes a heavy toll on the psyche and the subconscious. This is why we see black on black crime. This is why we see that, because we've been programmed and conditioned to do that. But in addition to that, all this pressure, all this negativity, it weakens your immune system when you're constantly bombarded with it. So on here, I give, tips about mental clarity as well. So that's what I'm doing in this section, is promoting the healthy, active, fit lifestyle. Anybody, any race, ethnicity, color, whatever religion, is more than welcome to listen to my podcast. But just know my core target audience is my people, especially this section. I'm speaking with unique problems for us, physically and mentally. Some types of content you can expect to hear from me in this section, is like the health benefits of fruit, veggie, plant, herb extract, physical things you can ingest into your body to help fight off diseases and, increase vitality and virility. Also, physical exercises you can perform, mental exercises that you can perform, such as meditation, mindful breathing. You might also get some metaphysical stuff in this section. But all the tidbits that I give in this section is basically to enhance and improve your life, enhance and improve your natural body's defenses, your immune system, enhance and improve that. Just basically telling you to stay, how instructing you on how to stay fortified out here in these streets, because health is wealth, and we're the target of so much. We have to basically stay armored up to stay alive, and that's what I'm doing in this section, is just giving you tips which you can utilize to be healthier. So, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, not a herbalist, not a guru, none of that. But I've made some healthy choices in my life, and people have seen the physical, visible, noticeable changes within me, making these changes. So I'm just sharing it, put the knowledge out here. If you can extract something from it, cool. If you think I'm full of BS, hey, everything ain't for everybody. You chalk it up to that. All right. So on to the health and wellness tip of the day. It's going to be very brief today, but I feel like I shouldn't have to say it, but then I should, because it's just like, I don't know why they call it common sense, because if sense was so common, everyone would have some. But anyway, so today's health and wellness tip is washing your hair. The importance of washing your hair, should I say. So if you have hair on your head or hair in your nether regions, you should wash them. You should wash them daily, because hair attracts all kinds of dirt, bacteria, and pathogens, and it's through the hair it gets absorbed into your skin. So you must definitely wash it every single day to cut down on the growth of bacteria within your body, because you can also absorb things through your epidermal layer. So your hair got all this dirt, oil, and other nastiness it attracts, and then it seeps down into your skin. So you have to wash that every single day. Like, the longer your hair is, the more you need to wash it. Also your lower parts, because like a lot of y'all got extremely hairy lower parts. You got to wash that every day, because in addition to the just staying healthy, like hair produces, like when everything sweats, so hair makes you sweat. So hair makes your scalp sweat, and sweat has an odor. So unless you want to be walking around smelly, you need to wash your hair. You need to wash your hair on top of your head and wash the hair in your lower parts. This will cut down on bacteria. This will cut down on odor. But definitely wash your hair. You want to use all natural, everything, lanolin-based soaps, things that have natural ingredients, mint, lavender, eases your scalp. But definitely wash your hair, especially y'all with the dreads. Because you think you're natural, got the dreads, got the locks. Excuse me, dreads, I'm getting that out of my vocabulary. Seeds, programming, conditioning, that's the Europeans. They call it dreads. We call them locks. They tacked the dread part on there. They went and observed us, and they're like, that hairstyle is dreadful. That's where dreadlocks came from, but we say locks. But anyway, especially for people that got locks, you need to wash that very often. All right, so that's it for the health and wellness section. And on to my next section is the speaking points. My speaking point of the day usually is like current events, something currently trending around the news, something global, or, something that directs, is a direct result of our community, something directly going on within our community. And I address it in the speaking point. And the reason why I do that is to basically control the narrative, because the media, they warp and they twist, and they just have us looking and sounding crazy. So history has taught us, if you do not tell your own story, you will have your story told for you. So the purpose of my speaking point of the day is to basically tell our story from our perspective on our own terms and conditions. Basically, if you're going to tell it right. Um, Now today, I've been saying usually, but I think I announced it on Thursday that I was going to do a synopsis of the movie Till, and this is, a biopic, a dramatic, major motion picture about, the life and times of a young slain brother in the 1950s who got killed, 14 years old, a baby, Emmett Till, down south, originally from the south side of Chicago. He went down south to visit his family. And this white woman said he tried to basically rape her or sexually assault her. And he's only 14 years old. Now, in the movie, he winked at her, or he whistled. He said, you know. But that's what I'm doing today, just giving my synopsis of Till. And I already said movies like that kind of make me angry. They just they trigger me a little bit. I'm not so mad at what happened because it just I don't know, it dredges up something about how we got treated back then, so much that we had to take back then. So I don't really enjoy watching those types of movies where they was very privileged to say the N-word, hard R, just say it so casually, and try to call grown men boys, and just it was just a different time back then. I don't really enjoy watching that. I mean, it hasn't really ended. It's still some parts in the United States where it's just time hasn't, progressed in that manner. Because if you really want to be real about it, slavery never ended. It just took a different form. The new plantation is the pipeline, the prison system. If you really want to be super real. But I digress. So, in the beginning, I really don't have any criticism about it. I do got some criticism. I got a little bit of reservation about it. So it was the visuals, whoever did the costumes in that movie, it was just amazing job. It made me really feel like I was in that time period. I think they captured, they was looking at old photographs and they captured it, immaculately, just really wow. Gave you a keen vision of how that time frame must have been. The aesthetics of it, just looking at it on screen, seeing that's how that must have been living back there in that time. The transitions, because it was a super random event, but the way they chronicled it and detailed it, they captured all the nuances within whoever told them the story. Magnificent, because it just the transitional sequences, leading up into Emmett Till's death, and then right after his death, how proactive the mother was in like rallying the rest of the nation, like getting herself together, keeping it together after seeing her baby boy being killed, not returning back to her safely, like for some nonsense. It was just a bang up, amazing job. The only little bit of criticism I had, it seemed like they kept on. It seemed like they overly played the docileness. Like you had to be docile in that time period. Like down south, they did have a law called reckless eyeballing. Like you could not make eye contact with the Caucasian person or they would kill you. Like in the U.S. military, like they use that term probably still to this day, reckless eyeballing. You eyeballing me, son? That's where that derives from. And I'm saying that bothers me because in that time period, and it's not necessarily even the people that made the film. I mean, they had to, focus the lens on that part of it for that story. But there were many, many, many revolutionaries back in that time period, pistol packing revolutionaries in, the 40s, 50s, and 60s that was not having any of it. And we never kind of hear stories like that. We only hear the stories of where we had to be docile and scared and looking down at the ground and yes, sir, no, sir. Eyes don't know no better. That's what they give us for the visual ones. That I want to see the movie because we had so many, groups, pistol packing revolutionaries that fought back and wasn't having none of it. But for this story, I can see that approach because, they wanted to convey he didn't do anything wrong. He followed all the rules at down south. He was from Chicago, and there wasn't as bad in Chicago with that as there was down south with it. So it's like, he was like, conflicted. Like it was culture shock. That's how they conveyed it. It was like a culture shock because they wasn't that bad with the racism in Chicago. They had racists, but it wasn't the same degree as it was down south. Even though many people from down south migrated to Chicago. But anyway. Yeah, it was a great film, phenomenally played, excellent. The director and the writers did an amazing bang-up job. It's definitely worthy of any type of, mention or award. So the real life person, this old white lady, like, she had a warrant recently for arrest, and I think like some members of the Black Panther Party down there, they said they was gonna go get her. They was gonna get her old ass and bring her in for that warrant, cause she done dodged that all her life. But the lady's name is Carol Bryant. She said he basically like physically assaulted her or sexually assaulted her. And, at 14 years old, like he ain't doing nothing. Like you don't know nothing about nothing at 14. Like back then, because we didn't have the internet, we didn't have dirty, all this porn and all that. That was like a different time. Like at 14, you don't know nothing about nothing. But like back then at 14, you could drive and have a full-time job. So, like I said, I don't have anything negative to say about the movie other than the fact, they kind of like went super hard into the docile aspect of it. Like you had to be docile to live down south. You couldn't have any type of aggression. Couldn't have any type of basically um, esteem about yourself when a Caucasian person was in the room. Like you couldn't have direct eye contact with them. You couldn't. You had to address them as sir or ma'am, and no matter like how old they was. Like if a child talked to you, you had to call the child. If you're a grown man, a Caucasian child, 4 or 5 years old, says something to you, you had to call that Caucasian child sir or ma'am. That's just all I didn't like about the movie. That it was like, that fearfulness. When again we had so many like pistol packing revolutionaries in that time frame that wasn't tolerating having none of it and was fighting back and was getting results. But yeah, that's a very good movie. I highly recommend you see it if you have not seen it. If you've seen it, see it again. See it again and again and again. Really good movie. It's just like it's a part of history. I don't really like watching those type of time period pieces, but your past is necessary, especially for our people. You have to like know where you came from in order to stay on your path to get where you're going. And you always have to look at that part of it. It's a really ugly truth, but that's something that happened, and it's unfortunate that did happen. And I think like the biggest elephant in the room is back then, that's where the anti-lynching bill got proposed. It got proposed way back then. That's what inspired the anti-lynching bill, and it just now got signed into law because of President Biden. But what took a back seat to the lynching bill is the Asian bill that they had. That came before the anti-lynching bill, and we was here first. So you know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. When all these people say it's no such thing as racism, everybody gets a fair shot. When we've been getting skipped over and over and over and over by every single person that comes to this country, and we built the country. Like, how are you going to skip over us and we built it? Like all these people that come to the shores of the United States of America, look down their nose at us and like we all shouldn't complain. And this is the land of opportunity. We built it, and just in 2020, or like during the Biden administration, the anti-lynching bill gets signed, but the Asian bill gets signed before the anti-lynching. Make it make sense. Our people has suffered the most, and we're always taking a back seat to everybody else. Everybody else's plight comes before ours. They still can't conceive why we need and deserve reparations. Like there's still an actual argument to why not to give it to us. That shouldn't even be like a thing. Are you kidding me? But anyway, I'm gonna get up off of that. Yeah, so Emmett Till, definitely go see it. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Go to your library, read up on it if you don't know. Do your Googles if you don't know about the life and times of Emmett Till. It's like one of our nation's biggest tragedies. 14-year-old boy loses his life for looking at a white woman. All right. So on to my last section, and then I'm up out of here. This is called my final thought section. And in this section, what it is just basically like something provocative, something to inspire thoughts, motivation, inspiration, a gem, a pearl of wisdom, something to make you be like, I never thought about it like that. So it's actually like I got two of them. It's like one real thought, but it's like I had two separate individual thoughts. So I was like, entered my mind. Both of these things entered my mind, so I'm gonna try to like stitch it around the main point. But so my final thought of the day, or final word. My final thought is usually like the final word too. So final thought of the day is relax. Relax. In life, there are things that you have no control over. Things are just going to happen, positive and negative. You don't have really any say-so, any control over it. There's always something unforeseen that's going to happen. But a lot of times we get over anxious. We get the feeling in our feelings like, we feel singled out. Like, why is this happening to me? Why is this always happening to me? Just individually. How come this always ends up for me? Like, why is this always happening? You just feel like, you're personally being attacked and something bad is happening to you. You feel like over anxious, like you're never going to get your turn. You're never going to get the spotlight on you. You watch everybody else succeed, watching everybody else triumph. But what you're not seeing is the things happening behind the closed doors, behind the limelight, behind the spotlight. See, with every smile, hides an inner frown. On the surface, it looks like they're having a good time. On the surface, it looks like, they got all the answers. They got everything figured out because they got this big giant house. They got this big fancy car. They take these luxurious exotic vacations. When they're posting online, they're always in this exotic, exclusive getaway. But there's a whole lot you don't see behind the scenes. You don't know what kind of, price they're paying for that lifestyle behind closed doors. You don't have any idea the sacrifice that they had to put in to obtain and maintain that lifestyle. You don't know how many people, they had to distance themselves from, had to cut off and cut loose. You don't know how much they had to sacrifice. So, with that sentiment, relax. Things are going to happen. And when they happen, you got to just breathe and just relax. It might, the emotional ramifications of it might be so excruciating it causes mental or physical turmoil. It actually starts physically hurting you because it emotionally hurts you so bad. But relax. It will get better. It will change. But if you get all excited and don't give yourself time to breathe, then it's only going to get worse. So relax. And my other sentiment I want to address today is yet. Yet is a word we always use, but nobody really fully seems to grasp the concept of yet. So it's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. So when you working on something and you feel like you got your tippy toes right on it, and it's like, dang, I was just off by a little bit. It hasn't happened for you yet. You know, you're at the 9-to-5 job. You haven't got that promotion. You've been doing everything, doing all the right stuff, saying all the right stuff, on time, doing your work. You haven't got to lick that lollipop yet. But it's going to happen if you stick with it. Another instance of school. You're buckling down, you're studying, you're sacrificing. You haven't gotten the grade you want to receive. So are you going to just stop going to school? You want to stop studying? It just hasn't happened yet. Relationships. Some people feel like they're never going to find, the husband or the wife. That they're going to be single for the rest of their life. Just one let down after another one. You want to stop putting yourself out there. You want to stop keeping yourself looking nice and loving yourself and doing nice things and putting yourself out there, letting the world know that you're available just because you don't have nobody right now. It just hasn't happened yet. And then the piggyback off of something I just said earlier, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It looks good. They look good in them photos, but you don't know what's going on behind them scenes. But So my final thought is never underestimate the power of the word yet. Yet is very powerful. Everybody has a yet. So it's already happened. Whatever path in life that you're on, whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to achieve, it is going to happen. Like it's already etched and embroidered. It's in your DNA. Your path is in your DNA. It's specifically tailored for you. It's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. All right. Thanks for listening. That's my time. You just witnessed the entire Narrative Podcast in all its glory. Thanks for patiently listening and staying with me to the end of it. So I anticipate and expect that you got something out of it, that you go and apply what you've heard on this platform and go forth in the world and become a narrator. So we can change the narrative. So, inspire those, enlighten those in the dark about our people and our culture. So it's never the goal to change a person's mind, but also just enlighten them, just to get them straight. But that's my time. Thanks for listening. Keep supporting the platform. How do you support me? By downloading this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. Also, I have a personal poetry blog called Hallzie's Poetry Corner at www.mrhalziesblogs.com. And the way you support me on that is share a poem, any and all poems from Hallzie's Poetry Corner to any and all your digital platforms, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Tumblr, whatever. Just share one of my poems back to that. Instagram, whatever you got. Dig, Reddit. Just share a poem from Hallzie's Poetry Corner onto one of them platforms, any of your platform, your preferred platform of choice. WordPress, whatever. But definitely that's how you support Hallzie's Poetry Corner, is just visit the link and share one of my poems to your preferred platforms. And speaking of poem, I've just recently written a book of poetry titled The Black Card. It's 30 ingenious, like clever poems about, all the experiences that is us, original people, aka black people, everything that goes on within our culture, all our nuances, just basic day in the life type stuff. Definitely a good read. Go get that right now and to make a good coffee table book, holiday read. It's the holiday season, so do yourself a big favor. Treat yourself. Don't beat yourself. Treat yourself to a classic piece of poetry from the Black Card. And pick it up at the Poetizer bookstore. And again, it's the title, The Black Card. Go get you a copy of that. Tell a friend to go buy a copy. Probably be the best thing you do for yourself all year round. Go pick that up. The Black Card in the Poetizer bookstore. So I got more projects in the wings, all kinds of stuff coming. This year's been very great. Thanks everybody for supporting me all year. Like this year's almost out of here. I had a real great time on the Narrative Podcast this year. I'm only getting bigger and better. Got all kinds of surprises around that corner. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for listening today. Go out and be successful. Wishing you love, light, healing, energy, my family. And, thanks for listening. You can join me again next weekend for another full broadcast of the Narrative Podcast. I broadcast weekdays, weekly, 1 day a week, random live day. So you can tune in regularly to avoid missing me. But as for this episode, it is done. It's a wrap. Thanks for listening. Hallzie Allen, the Narrative Podcast, signing off. And it's like that.
Set your place on fire. Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, get a little bit of gasoline. Put a little bit of shit,